So what is the difference between Intel Core i3, i5 and i7? Intel Core i3, Core i5, Core i7 CPUs has been around for a few years now, but some buyers still get stumped whenever they attempt to build their own system and force it to close among the three. We expect the latest wave of buyers to ask the same kind of a question. Core i3, i5, i7, the difference in nutshell. If you want a plain and simple answer, then generally speaking Core i7 are better than Core i5, which are in turn better than i3. No, Core i7 does not have 7 cores, or nor does Core i3 have 3 cores. The number are simply indicative of 3 their relative processing power. Their relative levels of processing power are based on a collection of criteria involving their number of core clock speeds in gigahertz size of a cache, as well as Intel technology like turbo boost and hyper-threading. Note, core processor can be grouped in terms of their target devices, those for laptop and those for desktop. Each has its own space. To avoid confusion, we will focus on desktop varieties. Number of cores. The more core there are, the more tasks, known as threads, can be served at the same time. The lowest number of cores can be found in Core i3 CPU, which have only 2 cores. Currently, all Core i3 are a dual core processor. We currently all Core i5 processor except for the i5 4570T are quad core. In Australia, the Core i5 4570T is only a dual core processor with a standard clock speed 2.9 GHz. Remember that all Core i3 are also dual cores. Furthermore, the i3 4130T is also 2.9 GHz, yet a lot cheaper. Sound like might be better buy than i5. What gives? At the point, I would like to grab the opportunity to illustrate how a number of factors affect the overall processing power of CPU and determine whatever it should be considered in i3, i5 and i7. Even if the i5 4570T normal runs at the same clock speed as Core i3 4130T, and even if they all have the same number of cores, the i5 4570 benefit from a technology known as turbo. So let's jump into the turbo boost. The Intel turbo boost technology allows a processor to dynamically increase its clock speed whenever the need arises. The maximum amount the turbo boost can raise clock speed at any given time is depending on the number of active cores, the estimated current consumption, the estimated power consumption, and the processor temperature. For the Core i5, its maximum allowable processor frequency is 3.6 GHz in i5 4570T. Because none of the Core i3 CPU have turbo boost, is the i5 4570T can outrun them whenever it need to, because all Core i5 processors are equipped with the latest version of this technology, Turbo Boost 2.0. All of them can outrun any Core i3. So going to the cache size, whenever the CPU finds that it keeps on using the same data over and over, it stores that data in its cache. Cache is just like RAM, only faster, because it's built into CPU itself. Both RAM and cache service is holding are areas for frequently used data. Without them, the CPU would have to keep on reading from the hard disk drive, which will take a lot more time. Basically, RAM minimizes interaction with the hard disk, while cache minimizes interaction with the RAM. Obviously, with a large cache, more data can be accessed quickly. The Haswell 4th generation Core i3 processor have either 3 MB to 4 MB of caches. The Haswell Core i5 have either 4 to 6 MB caches. Finally, all Core i7 CPU has 8 MB of caches, except expected i7 4770R, which has 6 MB. This is clearly one reason why i7 outperform in i5 and why in i5 outperform in i3. So going to the hyper-threading. Strategically speaking, only one thread can be survived by one core at a time. So if a CPU is a dual core, then supposedly only two threads can be survived simultaneously. However, Intel has a technology called hyper-threading. This enables a single core to survive multiple threads. For instance, a Core i3 which is only a dual core can actually survive two threads per core. In other words, a total of 4 threads can run simultaneously, thus even if Core i5 processor are quad core, since they do not support hyper-threading. The number of threads they can survive at same time is just about equal to those of their Core i3 counterparts. This is one of the many reasons why Core i7 processors are the cream de la cream. Not only are they quad core, they also support hyper-threading. Thus, a total of 8 threads can run on them at the same time. Combine that with 4 MB of cache Intel Turbo Boost technology, which all of them have, and you will see what sets the Core i7 apart from its sibling. The upshot is that if you do a lot of things at the same time on your PC, then might be worth forking out a bit more for an i5 and i7. However, if you use your PC to check email, some banking, read the news and download a bit of music, you might be equal surviving the cheaper i3. Another factor in this deliberation is that more and more programs are being released with multi-threads capability. That is, they can use more than one CPU thread to execute a single command, so things happen more quickly. Some photo editing and video editing program are multi-thread, for example. Hopefully this gives you some insight for your next CPU selection. Happy laptop and happy Intel CPUs. Thank you very much for watching this video.